I'm Jerry Gill.
I'm Karen Gill. We're from Crossit. And I just want to tell you what happened to me while I was at work. I had a stroke. And I had gone to work that morning just fine. No problems. Went home to lunch. Came back from lunch. And all of a sudden, something happened to me, and I didn't know what it was. I couldn't run my cash registers like I usually do. And my customer hollered for somebody to come up front that I needed help, and my boss Shelly came up and asked me what was wrong, and I couldn't answer her. And I walked back to in the back of the store, walked back up front, started wrapping a present, and all I did was make the bow all over and over and over. I was repeating it. And in the meantime, Shelly had Donna call Jerry and tell him there was something wrong. And he came and got me, and he took me to the emergency room here. And I don't remember anything about that part.
Well, when I got to the store and walked in the glass doors at the front, I immediately knew something was wrong with Karen. She wasn't responding to anything I asked her to do. I asked her to come out behind the counter where Donna, her friend of hers, works with her, and she would not respond. She just stared at me, like she was in another world. And I kept telling her, "Hey, come on back out here where I'm at, and let's go outside and talk, and let me talk to you." And she just kept staring at me. And by that time, Shelly, her boss, she got her out from behind the counter, and she got her out to the front door, where I was at. And we all three went outside, and we got her in my truck. And Shelly said, "Jerry, you need to take her on to the emergency room. She's got to go." I said, "Oh, well, yeah, I know. I could tell something's wrong with her." And so I got her in my truck, got her seatbelt on, and then I got her to the hospital, in a moderate time. And got her to the emergency room, and I told them that what we figured was wrong with her. She had a stroke on her job. She wasn't responding to nothing. And all she could say was, when I asked her a question, she just say, "I know, I know, I know." Then she just stare at me and get teary-eyed. "I know." And she was struggling. She knew something was wrong with her. I did. I told her to just calm down. It's going to be fine, So when I got her to the emergency room, they knew then, they also knew something was wrong with her. So they took her in the back, and then they got some information on me and her and everything, and then I went on back there where she's at, and they was working with her and everything, got her prepped to see what was, check her out and everything. The Dr. Dixon was the oncoming doctor, and then some more nurses. I don't know who they were, but anyway, they determined they had a Dr. Archer from UAMS was there on the television. They had him, and he was watching and monitoring her the whole time she was laying on the bed with the other staff members there, and asking her questions, trying to, and she couldn't really tell him anything. She was messed up. She was out of it. But anyway, they determined that he did, Dr. Archer, he's a neurologist, and he determined that she immediately needed to go to that hospital in Little Rock. So they prepped her, and
he told
her in the ambulance.
Yeah, but they told to give me the shot.
Well, yeah, they give you the shot. This shot was the kind of shot that they turned. You have to sign a form, and to consent to have it. It turns you around the other direction, as far as keep you from having another stroke. Preventionary measures is what it is. So there's precaution. There's I don't really know the word to use on that, but it's kind of dangerous to have the shot.
It is. It's dangerous. It busts that clot up that's in there right now.
That's exactly right. That's what they said. So they did that, and then they got her in the ambulance, and they took her to Little Rock. And then I followed. I rode with my niece and her husband. They took me instead of me having to drive. They was nice enough to take me. So we all three got down there, and then it just went from there, on.
what would you tell somebody if this happened to them? What should they do if they notice they're having symptoms that are similar to that?
Get to the hospital as quick as you can,
That's
because
right. Because that
they-
clotbuster drug.
they said you have to get it within 3 hours.
Within 3
And,
to 4 hours.
And I did not know that. I knew that you know, they say if your face droops or something, or, you know, but I didn't know what I was going through, because I did not know, not being able to talk, not being able to understand, and it was just, I never think of it that way, you know. It was just different. I felt like I was in Twilight Zone or something, because everything was swirling around and stuff. So,
Just be aware and call 911, get from hospital.
well, Shelley said if Jerry hadn't come and got me, she would have called an ambulance.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, I pretty much stay around the house. You know, I don't just drive out everywhere no more. I just pretty well stay home to keep me. I'm always finding something to do. And I
but-
keep my cell phone on with me all the time, so, you know.
but he came and got me and took me to the hospital.
And
He
you're
took
doing
me
good
straight.
today?
I'm doing fine.
Oh,
I have
you're
no.
back at work?
Oh yeah, I went back to work. I was off work about 3 weeks, and only
She'd
because
like
they wouldn't let me go
Yeah.
back to work.
Okay.
So.
So
She went back the first week.
because the doctors, they were up at UAMS. Jessica told me that they was amazed that I was doing as well as I was doing after everything I'd been through.
Yeah.
And so
What a blessing.
yeah, I was blessed. I told Jessica, I says, Lord's just trying to tell me something.
Now the doctors at the hospital in Little Rock, they were very shocked because there was 2 days there, 48 hours. She was on a bed the first night, and even the second night, day and night, they had to have her strapped down, her wrist and her legs, because she kept fighting, wanting to get out of the bed, and she was snatching out the IVs in her arms. She was in bad shape the first night. I mean, Karen was she.
I didn't know what was
bothered.
going on.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And they
Well,
said
we're so
that
thankful you're good now.
they said that I had a seizure in the ambulance going up there, and I had a seizure after I got there. So I didn't know that either.
Well, we're so glad you're doing good, and thanks for sharing your story with us tonight.
Just get to the hospital.